Time now for today's Focus Report. Well, the right to be given help to die has been debated for decades. Last week, Portugal's parliament rejected the idea of making doctor-assisted suicide legal. Here in France, the decriminalisation of euthanasia is constantly under discussion. First legalised in the Netherlands and Belgium in 2002, the topic still divides even in those countries. Belgium now allows euthanasia for minors, and a patient can qualify for it if they are suffering unbearably physically or psychologically. For some in Belgium, the law is too open to interpretation. Alex Le Bourdon and Maeve McMahon report.
I spent more days in a week just in my bed, crying, yelling. It feels like somebody is just pushing thick needles into me. I'm not living, I'm surviving.
Due to this unbearable psychological suffering, Amy has decided to end her life. 18 months ago, the 32-year-old Belgian got the green light to do so, and since then, ironically, began to start living again.
From the moment I had my approvals, I really didn't think about suicide anymore. And it was really like, it felt for me like I could breathe a bit.
With no date set yet for her euthanasia, the young woman is even making future plans. She will soon move into a new apartment. This peace of mind is something that this dad would have liked for his daughter.
This is a time when she had no hair. She'd made a bet with her friends.
But Edith slit her throat in her room in a psychiatric hospital. Neither her doctors nor those around her would consider her request for euthanasia.
For years, I was emotionally relentless. I just wanted her to live, but all she wanted from me was that I listen.
Euthanasia has been decriminalised for more than 15 years in Belgium, but the topic still triggers heated debates. This Flemish politician wants to see assisted suicide for people who are tired of living or feel they have had an accomplished life.
I think it's time to consider giving the choice of living or dying to people who are physically fine but have done everything they wanted to do in their lives. Who are we to tell them that they must continue to live?
But for pro-life associations, this proposal is totally unacceptable.
We're really on a slippery slope here. Are we going to start letting people commit suicide just because they're a bit on edge, or they're facing despair, or simply they're tired of living? The role of society is to show that they still have their place among us.
These associations want to see a complete ban on euthanasia. This activist has one clear message. She believes the Belgian law has gaps and is being exploited.
The verifications of all the conditions that are within the law are only done afterwards. When the doctor makes a statement, the person has already died, and only then does the committee verify all the conditions that are stipulated by law.
Dr. Van Oust is part of this committee. It meets once a month. She herself performs euthanasia in this palliative care service.
Bonjour, monsieur.
It can also be carried out at home.
Monsieur?
There's an injection that puts you to sleep, then 2 others. It takes 10 minutes in total. But what takes much more time is the process that precedes euthanasia. According to Dr. Van Oust, doctors have one major obligation: to never take a decision alone.
As the doctor, we're asked to take the advice of others and to report back to society, because we have to report on what we've done, and this report must be checked by a healthcare team and at least one other doctor.
And even a second, a psychiatrist. in the case of psychological suffering.
I only picture happiness when we were together. I only see the holidays we took together. All the time.
This patient has not recovered from the death of his wife that took place almost a year ago. It's the 4th time he visits his doctor. Pierre is 83 and wants to die.
I'm sick of living. I'm tired of loneliness. I cry all the time. I even cry in the street.
But in the case of bereavement, doctors are cautious.
We have to give ourselves some time to confirm that.
Time to ascertain the psychological suffering of the patient in question.
His concerns need to be addressed, and that's why dialogue is so important. And a patient who says, I can't take it anymore, I'm suffering too much, how dare you tell them that his suffering is not enough? It's your perception. It all depends on your empathy towards the patient.
Whatever the situation, listening is at the heart of the process.
In any case, the worst thing to do when there's a demand for euthanasia is to turn around and say no at once. The first thing to do is to listen to the request and to propose a timeline. Time is very important, especially for psychiatric patients.
According to a recent report, in 2015, more than 2,000 people received euthanasia in Belgium, 3% for reasons related to mental health.
Maeve McMahon and Alex Le Bourdon reporting there.